Hey guys, welcome to Old School Bodybuilding. Alright, so today in this video I wanted to talk about a few diet tips from Vince. So these were some highlights I found from the blueprint for the bodybuilder. So first off, the first one is going to be about the egg. So Vince states that the egg, if it's eaten alone, the body will absorb only 10% of its iron. But if consumed with 85 milligrams of vitamin C, the body absorbs 20% of its iron. Now here's the big one, the big kicker. If you consume 1,000 milligrams or 1 gram of vitamin C, the egg will absorb 75% of its iron. So conclusion, take vitamin C with your eggs. I usually typically take 1 gram with each egg meal that I consume each day. So next, maximum health. Okay, this is kind of an obvious one here, but it still needed to be stated. For maximum health to be achieved, you must include exercise. Well, duh. Diet alone will not produce maximum health. One of nature's best fat trimmers is intensive training. Now, I know that seems pretty obvious, but still needs to be said. And I think there's a lot of people out there that just want to do a diet thing and not exercise. And there's a lot of those people out there that I would probably call, skinny fat, and they're not achieving maximum health. So, boom, maximum health. So next, kelp. Vince states that kelp will help subside your desire for salt. Salt will store unwanted fat because water is retained in the tissue. The iodine, which is found in kelp, is kind of like a match that lights a fire on the food we consume. If we don't properly absorb and burn off our food, well, you guessed it, unwanted fat. Kelp is also a great detoxifier. So Vince typically recommends 10 kelp tablets with each meal, and I typically prescribe to this method. So next, fasting. This one was very interesting to me when I read, because I don't think I've read anything from Vince's material that's mentions fasting. So Vince states in here, total fasts produce loss of muscle tissue and a gain in body fats. So don't miss a meal in your enthusiasm to burn up fat. Conclusion, don't fast. There you have it, fasting. And okay, next one, water. Now, we've talked a little bit about this in the past. Vince, of course, had rules about water, and this is no exception. Vince mentions that, in quotes, what weight is water. He also states that after a sauna workout, sauna session, don't drink water for 45 minutes. Vince also states do not drink water or liquids between meals to avoid poor digestion of food. He said only drink a moderate amount of water in between meals, but to make sure that you do drink water in between meals, and it will help with fatigue. He does mention not to drink too much water as well, as it destroys vitamin B. So, some interesting wisdom there from Vince on water, some of the hard hitters from him. And I don't think I've read anywhere else from anybody that in the fitness world that has rules on water. So this is kind of a pretty neat little trick from Vince, if you will. So lastly, training for definition, and I put in quotations, think nutrition. This isn't too far off from Vince's typical advice, but still needs to be shared. Stay away from milk and even in some cases cottage cheese, as there are more carbohydrates in cottage cheese than you would think. This is one of the few places I've seen Vince state, in quotes, "watch your calories," and that's interesting to me. He is more referring though to carbohydrates here and to use fat as a source of energy. Vince does mention to cut your fat from time to time, and you'll see a tremendous fat loss. And here's a big one as well that a lot of people miss, including myself, is to eat a breakfast that contains a higher fat concentration. This will help control your blood sugar levels for up to almost 6 hours. Now, Vince is definitely correct on this one. Whenever I eat a high-fat breakfast, I'm much more able to go about my day not feeling hungry for a pretty long time, even though I didn't really consume what I would consider a large quantity of food. So there you have it, guys. A couple of nutrition tips from Vince from Blueprint for the Bodybuilder. So if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button below. Thanks, guys.